viewers, welcome back to Iraqi Dinar News, your trusted source for accurate insights into the ongoing financial evolution surrounding the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong. As we move deeper into 2025, a pivotal change is unfolding in real time, one that's capturing the attention of institutional investors and international policymakers alike. This isn't just another speculative wave. For the first time in years, the IQD and VND are being taken seriously at the highest levels of finance, and there's a much deeper story behind it, one that ties directly back to decisions made in Washington, D.C. Stay with us, because what you're about to hear could reshape how you view both global economics and opportunity. Let's begin with Iraq. Since 2003, the country has endured military conflicts, sanctions, and years of economic reconstruction. But in 2025, we're witnessing an entirely new trajectory. The Central Bank of Iraq has modernized its financial systems, implemented digital infrastructure, and significantly reduced its dependence on the US dollar. These changes aren't surface level. They're strategic steps that now meet international compliance standards. More importantly, Iraq has exited the global financial watch lists, a milestone that signals progress in transparency and global readiness. But this level of reform didn't evolve on its own. Behind the scenes, U.S. financial and policy experts have been guiding Iraq toward economic legitimacy. From audit-supported reserves to trade-compliant banking frameworks, Iraq is moving from the margins into serious financial standing. The dinar isn't just climbing in theoretical value, it's gaining global credibility, and that distinction is everything when it comes to future growth. Many are now asking, why is the United States so invested in Iraq's financial progress? The answer is influence. As global alliances like BRICS seek to reduce reliance on the US dollar, Washington has found an opportunity to reinforce its position in vital regions through financial partnerships. Iraq, strategically located, resource-rich, and geopolitically essential, offers exactly that. By stabilizing and boosting the IQD, the U.S. ensures that future trade flows and settlements in the Middle East continue to operate within Western-friendly systems. In this way, the dinar becomes more than currency. It becomes economic leverage. Whether used in petroleum contracts, cross-border trade, or future digital finance applications, the IQD could serve as a pivotal tool in global commerce and diplomacy. Now let's shift our attention to Vietnam. The Vietnamese dong, often overshadowed in conversations about currency reform, is finally stepping into the spotlight. Long considered undervalued, the VND is now being reassessed by global banking institutions. In 2025, major players like HSBC and Standard Chartered have quietly begun quoting the dong at updated valuation levels. This marks a shift from quiet observation to real re-evaluation. The reason? Vietnam's disciplined economic management. For more than a decade, the country has invested in manufacturing strength, controlled inflation, and built substantial foreign reserves. Now that groundwork is paying off. Similar to Iraq, the United States has played a subtle but significant role in Vietnam's rise. Trade partnerships, technological investments, and even coordinated defense efforts have strengthened ties between the two nations. Encouraging the VND's emergence into mainstream finance provides the U.S. with an important counterbalance to China's growing financial reach. And just like with the IQD, this isn't only about financial transaction, it's about geopolitical placement. Iraq and Vietnam are increasingly vital chess pieces in a complex game of global power, and currency control is a critical element of that strategy. One of the more surprising updates in 2025 is the appearance of new IQD trading pairs on smaller foreign exchange platforms and ECNs, electronic communication networks. These are often where new currency valuations emerge quietly, without large media announcements. The IQD has already shown controlled trading at levels nearing $5.21 against the dollar, while the VND has touched as high as $3.95 in regional systems like Singapore and the UAE. These figures haven't yet hit large financial platforms like Bloomberg or Reuters, but the momentum is undeniable. Institutions are moving early, well before headlines catch up. This leads to the obvious question: when will we see mainstream tradability? Experts suggest that the third and fourth quarters of 2025 are the most likely window. In July, a series of critical IMF meetings could result in Iraq being reinstated fully into the global Forex index. Should that occur, projections show the IQD stabilizing between $5.00 and $7.50, especially if oil contracts begin listing in dinar-backed settlement. That wouldn't just be a price correction, it would be a structural financial transformation. Let me know when you're ready for part 2, which will cover how investors are reacting, the future of VND and Zimbabwe's gold-backed currency, and why Washington's silent strategy may hold the key to this entire financial realignment. As institutional movement grows, retail investors are beginning to pay attention. But unlike the speculative rushes of the past, the smart players in 2025 are moving with caution and strategy. Hedge funds, sovereign wealth managers, and large private investment groups have started accumulating IQD and VND, not as a gamble, but as part of a larger financial positioning strategy. Their moves are measured, not impulsive, and that's the key takeaway for individual investors today. This is no longer about overnight riches. It's about being aligned with a fundamental shift in global monetary direction. Every statement from a central bank, every bilateral trade agreement, every IMF meeting adds to the forward motion of these currencies. They're becoming more visible on the international stage, but for them to reach full momentum, one final piece remains: formal U.S. engagement. Once Washington openly supports broader integration of the IQD and VND into global trade platforms, the pressure valve will release. Markets will adjust rapidly, and those who prepared ahead of time will be the ones best positioned to benefit. For the average investor, the advice right now is clear: stay informed and avoid chasing hype. Social media noise and exaggerated predictions are rampant, but the real value lies in understanding policy, not speculation. The revaluation of these currencies is unfolding through quiet meetings, policy papers, and gradual systemic updates, not viral videos. Retail investors who recognize this reality will be more likely to succeed than those reacting to rumors and screenshots. This entire revaluation wave fits into a broader narrative, one where U.S. foreign policy, economic stability, and global monetary reform intersect. Iraq and Vietnam aren't just emerging economies, they are anchor points in regions of critical interest to the United States. Iraq, located in the oil-rich heart of the Middle East, provides a strategic buffer zone amid global tensions. Vietnam, situated in Southeast Asia, stands as a key counterweight to China's influence in the Indo-Pacific. By helping both nations develop credible, independent currencies, the U.S. bolsters its own influence in two of the world's most contested regions. The timing couldn't be more important. As BRICS nations push harder for alternatives to the dollar, Washington is responding with a soft power approach, using financial tools instead of military pressure. The IQD and VND are part of that toolkit. And for investors who understand this larger story, currency isn't just about value, it's about geopolitical strategy. Now let's briefly address another emerging currency, Zimbabwe's ZiG. This gold-backed currency, launched earlier in 2025, has sparked both interest and skepticism. While it hasn't yet entered mainstream Forex platforms, analysts are watching it closely. The ZiG is one of the few currencies in the modern era backed by audited gold reserves, and though the risks are high, its presence hints at a future where commodities could play a central role in currency stability. Some speculate that the U.S. is keeping an eye on the ZiG, waiting to see whether it fits into the broader global recalibration. For now, it remains volatile, but not irrelevant. What connects all three currencies, ITD, VND, and ZiG, is the presence of Western involvement behind the scenes. Whether through economic aid, military alliances, or trade diplomacy, the United States is playing a quiet but consistent role in shaping how these currencies evolve. Some call this strategic manipulation, others see it as long overdue stabilization. Either way, the result is a financial environment where rising currencies also serve U.S. interests. And that's no accident. So where should your attention be going next? Watch for updates from the IMF, particularly regarding Iraq's status on international trading platforms. Pay close attention to U.S. Treasury statements or comments from Federal Reserve officials that mention foreign reserve diversification. Keep an eye on oil and gas contracts being quoted in dinar or VND, and look for expansion of Vietnam's export hubs in international supply chains. These signals are far more meaningful than chatter in online forums. Technology is also playing a key role. Both the IQD and VND are being incorporated into advanced digital frameworks, from AI-assisted reserve auditing to blockchain-tracked transactions. These aren't outdated currencies trying to stay relevant, they are being rebuilt to match the future of finance. Systems that may eventually challenge or replace SWIFT and chips as we know them today. Buying IQD or VND in 2025 isn't just about participating in currency reform, it's about participating in the future of programmable finance. To the skeptics still calling this a pipe dream, consider this. We now have evidence of trading traction, central bank integration, and growing international alignment. These currencies have exited the realm of online conspiracy and entered the phase of real-world engagement. With large-scale financial players now moving quietly behind the scenes, the landscape has changed. This isn't theory, it's execution. As always, your success depends on how you respond. Will you chase noise or study policy? Will you wait to be told what's happening or take the initiative to learn? Every major shift begins with quiet movements. We are in the middle of one right now, and those who recognize it early will have the advantage. To close this chapter, remember, 2025 isn't just another year in the financial calendar. It's a turning point. The Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong are no longer symbols of struggling economies. They're becoming instruments of strategic value, backed by policy, powered by tech, and moving toward full legitimacy. The message is clear. The time to prepare is now. We'll continue reporting every major update right here on Iraqi Dinar News. Subscribe, stay sharp, and be ready. The next big development is always closer than you think.